Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is His Dark Materials Season 2, Episode 4, Tower of the Angels. Welcome, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late there. I was actually typing out descriptions and all that kind of stuff to the video here. Let me take care of some business first and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, tries to match them as best as possible. One of the videos, my vast video library, and pops up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that video, that subscribe button right down there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I also have all the links to my social media. So Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. No tier set up on the Patreon. It will happen once I hit 1,000 subscribers. That way I can give you something if you're giving me money. Also, I have the links to my pages like this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and for those of you who still have Facebook, a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right, let's get to this, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. You've been warned. So we finally get to the meat of a lot of this story in this episode. It's only season 2, episode 4, and we have 8 episodes, I believe, in this season. So, yeah, and we find out some other things too, like in the world of this, Lee Scoresby is from the nation of Texas. The nation of Texas. Also, it's bad form to touch another person's demon. Sometimes I like my demon to be touched. It depends on the person. But I guess Lyra, Pan decides to sidle up to Will a little bit there, and Lyra like, oh my god, what the fuck, and we find out that that's bad form. This is something again that we probably should have known about in season 1. I don't know, considering it was so slow to begin with, we could have actually had this bit of world building put in there. It's little nitpicky things, but for me, that is what I want to. I want that world building. If you're going to spend a season world building, put all of it in. Yeah. So, what do we have this episode? We have a lot that goes on this episode. We have Will, of course, and Lyra looking for a way to get into the tower because they need to get the knife in order to get the alethiometer back from Carlo Boreal, of course. And Carlo, in the meantime, is telling Mrs. Coulter that he's got Lyra, and basically she's getting him something. He doesn't tell Mrs. Coulter what she's getting, what she and Will are getting for him, but that he has something of hers that she wants. And I'm pretty sure Mrs. Coulter knows that he's got the alethiometer at this point, and I don't think Carlo is going to be very long for this world. It doesn't take a genius to see that one coming. And so in the meantime, Lee Scoresby, of course, is looking for Grumman, and he finds him. Although he's not calling himself Grumman anymore, and he's not calling himself John Perry either. He's now Joppy, is what he's calling himself. Yeah. Yeah. So Will and Lyra end up getting into the tower, and they have someone following them too at this point. And they find up at the top of the stairs there an old man who's tied up, and we find out his name is Giacomo Paradisi, and he is the bearer of the knife, the subtle knife. And we also find out through a voiceover at the very beginning, the very, very beginning, we get a voiceover from Zafania is her name. It was actually, I had the subtitles on, so I was actually able to see that 300 years ago, a group of philosophers who, of course, are the guild at this point, were studying atoms and everything in between atoms, and they made this knife, which is the subtle knife that could cut the very fabric between worlds. And they decided, do they use it for good? Do they use it for evil? What do they use, or use it for just themselves? Do they use it for everyone? Do they use it for just themselves? And of course, they use it for just themselves. And they were the ones that released the specters onto Sitagazi. and those that could flee fled, and those who didn't got taken by the specters. And when Lord Asriel, uh, did what he did, opening up the sky like he did, it was just flooding Cittàgazze full of specters at that point. And yes, Joe Greer, Mr. Terrence Stamp makes an appearance as Giacomo, and he tells Will to fight this kid who actually stole the knife from him, and Will ends up getting his fingers cut off in the process, but wins the knife. And we find out that that's what you need to do in order to become the new bearer of the knife is you need to get lose two fingers. So he is old, Penn, and also they aged him up a bit too. He looks a lot better than what the age makeup that they gave him on this. They aged him up a little bit with some makeup to make him look horrible, and also beaten up and whatnot. And he essentially just teaches Will how to use the knife and what side's which. And one side actually cuts anything in the world or cuts anything at all. And the other side, if with the right training, you can find how to cut open a thread and a window into a new world. And then he also says, you got to close it up too, and shows him how to close it up. So he gives him some rules, kind of like Gremlins, is that, one, always close the window, never leave it open. That's how shit goes bad. Two, never let anybody else grab the knife. Three, never, keep the knife a secret. And four, and I forgot what number four was because, I have it written down here. Uh, sorry, I had to go actually look at all that stuff of what I had there. And never use it for base purposes is what it was. That was the other one. Was never use it for base purposes. And that's pretty much it. And then he goes, you know what? You're on your own. See ya. The Spectre's going to take me. Farewell. And so as they're leaving, Will sees the Spectres coming for him, and Lyra's like, get the fuck out of here. She can't see the Spectres, of course, because she's not of age, but Will can. And before the Spectres take him, Giacomo takes some poison and kills himself. Yeah. And so that I think that was the shortest guest stint that we ever had that I've ever seen on a show of someone of that caliber coming in just to play a character. I don't know if he's going to be back or what's going to happen, but yeah. So, and the witches. Oh my God. And the witches have decided that since the Magisterium basically has taken out Ruta's kingdom, Ruta Scotty's kingdom, and killed a shit ton of witches in the process, that they're going to go into the next world, the other world where Lyra is, grab her, help Lord Asriel, and tell him to finish what he started when he did the beacon in the sky, and basically kickstart that prophecy into being. And Lee, in the meantime, is working with Grumman, and Grumman says he needs to get the knife and the bearer of the knife, of course, to Lord Asriel to finish, basically make the world a better place for Will, his son, is what he's saying. So Lee decides to help him on his mission as well, as long as he promises to protect Lyra, not knowing that all this stuff is converging together. So the witches at the very end there, we see the Magisterium's airships hovering over by the light in the sky that Asriel made. And what do? They fucking kill everybody on board those ships, like at super speed. And it makes you wonder how the Magisterium was able to take them out in the first place if they had that super speed going on. And we see them flying off towards the light in the sky in order to go and find Lyra at this point. And yeah, there was a lot in this episode, Penn. A shit ton in this episode. And also Will and Lyra are going to steal the alethiometer back from Carlo, who they know by a different name. Oh, and I almost forgot. Mary Malone ends up making contact with dust, dark matter, shadows, whatever they're going to be called. And they tell her that they are angels, that humans have known them all this time. And yes, they've had a hand in evolution, human evolution. And she goes, why? Why have you, evolved humans? And it says vengeance. And that's all we get, is that it's vengeance. and that there are billions of angels within this consciousness of dark matter. And that's kind of where we leave off. We've got so much information in just one episode, and I was like, where in the fuck was this the entire season and a half before all of this? Where was all this information at? I mean, you decided in episode 4 to just like, here you go, data dump, and you just dump everything all at once. Because now I'm actually interested in this thing because you gave me a lot of information that I previously didn't have. That now I'm going to go and okay, I'm kind of interested in this thing now. You know, nice theme song to what the series, or what are you talking about? Yeah, Ken, that definitely was unexpected. The whole thing about the angels, doing this for vengeance, helping along human evolution for vengeance, and vengeance for what? Is it because of being created or what? So, um, Joker, I don't like the theme song. The theme song to me is an earworm. It really is, and it's kind of annoying to tell you the truth. But yeah, I want to know what the angel's motivation is for vengeance on this and why. I mean, shit, that's a lot of vengeance to go over millions of years of evolution just to get your point across. And what is the point? Because no one knows what it is, obviously. They don't know that they are, that we're uh you know why we're being involved for vengeance or what kind of a vengeance this is. So, yeah, but there we stand. But I am interested in seeing what's coming up next now because now we've gotten a bigger picture of what the fuck is going on and what's in store. And if the Magisterium gets a hold of this, of course, there's going to be a shit ton of chaos that happens, and we don't know what Lord Azrael, what his whole plan was, and why it's half finished. I guess is he trying to bring down all the barriers between worlds? What is he trying to do? Why does he need the knife? Is he trying to close all the barriers between the worlds, or is he trying to open all of them? Because with the knife and the knife bearer, of course, you have access to cleaving open all these windows, if you will, or closing all the windows, if you will. And we don't know where we're at this point. And if Lyra gets her hands on the alethiometer, she might be able to ask that question if she can probably focus for one fucking minute and actually ask that question. That's all I'm saying on there. Yeah. So there you have it. I don't know what's going to happen next. I didn't see a preview for next week. So I know next week's is already available in the UK, if I remember correctly. I'm actually taking a look at IMDb right now. Yes, actually, that was on the 6th. It already dropped for the UK. We are a week behind on our viewings here. So, but hey, is there a trailer for next week, Joe? I didn't see it. I was looking for it and I didn't see it. So, and then I was getting busy to try and actually get this thing up and running by 7:30, so that those of you on the East Coast will be able to get to sleep on some reasonable amount of time. That kind of thing. I'll take a look at the trailer later. So yeah, it's like I said, I'm finally interested in what the hell they have to say because they dumped everything all at once. Man, world build, man. World build early. That's all I can say. Do it earlier, and that way you hook your audience in a little bit earlier too. That I stuck around this long for it just because it was on a whim is a testament to nothing being out there on TV else to watch. Yeah. Or cover. So, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the sequel to the train to Busan, and it's called Peninsula, is what that's called. Um, Wednesday is another episode of Who in the Hell Is, and this time around it's Bo-Katan. I'm actually going to talk about Bo-Katan from The Mandalorian, Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. She's been in lots of stuff. So we're going to talk about Bo-Katan and who she is. Thursday, I'm going to be off. Friday is going to be another episode of The Mandalorian, and that is episode 7. Is that correct? Yeah, that's right. Episode 7. So the penultimate episode of the season. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Sunday, I'm off, and then we roll back around again to His Dark Materials, and that's going to be episode 5. Remember, we only have 3 episodes left. Is that correct? Is that 3 episodes? Yes, we only have 3 episodes left. And then after that, we go on hiatus. We already know that this has been renewed for a third season. So, and yes, I agree with you, Joker. Warrior ended season 2. It went on a fucking bang, and I'm hoping there's a season 3, but doesn't look all that good. So that's all I got for you. I'm going to let you guys go so you can go to bed. For those of you on the East Coast, thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button down there. Also, if you can, hit that like and the share button as well while you're down there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there. Also, all the links to my social media and these pages, YouTube, Facebook, and a Facebook group page as well. All right. I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow for Peninsula. Is it worth my time? Peninsula. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may wind up having to find the subtle knife, which is not so subtle, honestly. It's very blunt about what it does. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, take care, be well, and wear a mask, physically distant, all that kind of stuff. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.